You know, we humans don't like having to suddenly change activities. Just look at kids when they're asked to put away their paints because it's time for tea. As adults, we sometimes procrastinate when we have a new activity we need to start on too, and it can be tricky to persuade oneself into an intellectually challenging painting session if you're busy doing something you think is easier. So here are some tips I make use of to get me started when I want to paint. Accept procrastination just happens sometimes, and that even when you get it together to start, there'll be a bit of a settling in period happening at the beginning. To make this less of a conflict with yourself, give yourself an out by reminding yourself it's about fun. And if you still aren't settling or starting to find it fun after a while, it doesn't have to be a long session. You still get brownie points for doing something, no matter how short the session. Getting to hate or resent art activities clearly isn't the point of doing them. So better to cut things short if you aren't enjoying yourself. You will another day, so be a bit kind to yourself about it. Long sessions with missed meals or sleep can be a bad approach if they create unpleasant memories for you of a very challenging session that stay with you and might make starting the next session seem like a huge mountain to climb instead of an enjoyable treat you'll love doing. Be prepared to be disappointed in your results. You won't always be on top form when you're making art. And people with very high expectations for themselves sometimes get put off starting if they fear the results might not equal the amount of effort that went into something. It's a very good idea, I think, to put your main focus on staying with enjoyment of every moment of what you're doing, rather than focusing on how you think your piece will turn out. Because if your art efforts are closely associated with good feelings, it will be much easier not to procrastinate about starting next time. Procrastination can often be associated with unrealistic expectations of ourselves or ego, at least as much as it is with all the justifications we have for why other things need to be first on the list before the thing we say we love doing, making art. Who cares really if your piece doesn't end up an earth shattering work of genius for every single session you work on it? You shouldn't, but you should definitely do some art if you want to. And you know what they say, there's no time like the present.